From the best man, Jerry Weir.
Well, I was told this was supposed to be 10 minutes long, so I'm going to have to get rid of some of my cards. But basically, I just want to let you know, first of all, as best man, I just want it to be clear that I'm here representing a lot of men that really have been impacted by Mark and would not be the same if it wasn't for Mark. And so I may wear the red rose, but I have a lot of men behind me that say the same thing that I'm going to say tonight. So just make sure you know that. And you're going to be getting a lot of hugs tonight, both of you, from all of us. I just want to let you know that I've actually known Mark as a friend for 1,729 days. 1,000 of those have been good. 700 of those have been even better. And 29 are undecided. So I'll let you know after tonight. But Mark really stands out as one of my best friends, and there's quite a few reasons for that. Basically, his character is something that's very important to me and has been very important to me in my life, and I know that this has been very important to other men. But here's some things that I really appreciate about Mark, because what I was going to say was Mark claims that I was part of a very important conversation before he asked Emily to be his girlfriend. And unfortunately, I don't remember that conversation, but I know it was important. But the things that I do remember are these, that Mark, in the time that I have known him, has been one of the most loyal friends that I've ever had. Mark has been one of the most generous friends that I've ever had, definitely one of the smartest, which is great. And he has always been willing to listen and very intentional with the time that he spends with his friends, and that has always been really important to me. Mark really knows how to sit with someone, whether it is in celebration, in sadness, or even just in giving grace, and I really appreciate that about him. So to me, Mark's character is so important, and knowing him as an example in my life as a man of God has been really great. So I remember standing outside of his garage senior year and him telling me, well, I asked him, how are things going with Em? And he said, Jerry, I'm going to marry her. I'm going to marry her. I know I'm going to marry her. And you know what? Although initially I was like, whoa, great. But the second thing that I thought of was, that's perfect. This is a man whose character I trust, whose decision-making skills I trust, someone who I would lean on in tough decisions. And when he said that, right away, I knew that was a great decision and a good one, too. So Mark, I'm really proud of you. And as I'm talking for all these guys, we're really proud of you in this decision. And we are so confident that it is a good one. And Emily, I just wanted to say one thing, since I know last night a lot of great things were said about you, and I second all of those, but this is one of my favorite things about you, is that you can see beauty in people, or in life, or in things, and places, and you're so quick to share that with everybody. And I love what that's going to do to Mark's life. So Mark, get ready for a lot of beauty in your life, because there's a lot of it standing right next to you right now. So I just wanted you to know, I know that was great. That wasn't even on my note card. But I just want to second that we are so confident that this is such a great decision and that we are here celebrating it with you. And I want you to know that my prayer for you is that you will never stop learning to love each other, that you will never stop learning to let yourselves be loved, and that you will never stop experiencing God's love and sharing that with others, because that is something that you have that is so special and so important, that really sets you apart. So if you all raise your glasses with me, this is to Mark and Em, a great past and an amazing future. We love you. Cheers.
Thank you, Jerry. And finally, we're going to hear from the father of the bride, David George.
Well, I as well speak on behalf of others. There are 4 parents who have committed themselves, Emily and Mark, to pray for you your whole life. And I know that's true for your parents, Mark, and I know from our own experience, Emily, Thursday night was always the night before bed that Jane and I prayed for you. And that was through most of your childhood, and so most Thursday nights in our calendar have been praying for Emily. And our prayers for you have been that the beautiful person that came into our lives when you were born, full of radiant joy and celebration of everything you did. That would be blessed by God and nurtured by God and brought out by God. And when we pray those things, we as parents don't want to do anything to hurt who you are. And that's been one of our biggest concerns as mom and dad, that we don't do anything to squelch the beautiful person that God has made you to be, and that as you embrace your own brokenness and find redemption at the cross, that more and more of your beauty that God put into you will indeed come out. And Jane and I are absolutely convinced, Emily, that has happened. And we have seen our prayers be answered 100-fold in your life. And Mark, we are so glad to give our daughter to you. We really are. The short time that we've gotten to know you, and now particularly this past week when we've gotten to know your parents better and hear stories from your childhood, Jane and I have been thrilled that you are the man that God has chosen for our daughter Emily. And we both are confident that God's countenance is going to be lifted upon you, and that his face will shine on you, and that you will be that Psalm 67 blessing to the world that God has made you to be. And we see so many evidences of it. We are excited for how the world is going to be changed because of Mark and Emily DeLue. And as the four parents, we're thrilled at the part we've played in it, and we commit ourselves to continue praying for you the rest of our lives. God bless you. Let's raise a glass for Emily and Mark.
While the jazz band gets together to start playing again, Emily and Mark are going to head towards the cake cutting, which is going to be in that corner. So that's right. Those who want to see the cake